It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on HabsCast.
Well, the worry warts were right. Gonna ruin them. Too soon. Don't bring up the young goalie. He's more important than the team. Gonna ruin him. And they were right. Like, geez, he only stopped 33 of 35 shots. That's nowhere near Monty's save percentage, is it?
No, definitely not.
No. And hey, we've got the next Olivier Michaud on our hands here. I'm afraid. Called him up too early. Gonna ruin him. What do you think?
Well, I think I'm gonna give some people time to Google Olivier Michaud.
Yeah. Anybody under the age of 35?
I even remember his number. He was wearing 95. It's the weirdest number for a goalie.
Yeah.
But
19 years old, got called up.
But Fowler played a great game. That doesn't mean he has to stay up. It's a nice reward. He played really well. He might get another game.
Yeah. No, send him back down for sure. Yeah.
Not right away. But
come on,
you're not going to call him up and rely on him now all season long.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Because he's the best goalie outside the NHL. Just like when Marty Brodeur got called up at 21 years of age, just like when Patrick Roy got called up at 20 years of age, just like when Carey Price got called up at 20 years of age, just like when Andrei Vasilevsky got called up at 20 years of age. Yes, he's the answer right now. He's 10 times better than Monty. I want him to play Saturday night, and if he wins, I want him to play Sunday too, because I want them to win.
Yeah. But like I said, he's not the guy that you're going to call up and ride him all season long. He's going to have a good stretch.
Well, who else are they going to ride, Blaine?
Well, they got no one else. Kakinen, you call him up. Again, he can't do any worse than Montembeault has done so far.
Right. So you're saying call up Kakinen instead?
Only once Fowler starts, you start seeing chinks in the armor. So,
well,
so tonight's game, he played an excellent game, but he also had a team in front of him playing their hearts out. That's probably one of the best games the Canadiens have played in a month.
They haven't given up 35 shots very many times in the last month, Blaine.
No, but
no, they haven't.
They gave up way less scoring chances in this game than they normally do.
Well, in the first two periods, but in the third period.
Yeah. Oh no, don't. I'm not taking away from his play or the win for him.
943 save percentage.
Yeah.
Last time Monty had 943 save percentage, Olivier Michaud was in nets, I think.
It's been a while. But what's Fowler going to look like when he's got a team that's in complete disarray in front of him? I don't want him getting
like the Habs in the third period.
Yeah. Well, no. You mean when they were down?
You don't want him rushed. Okay.
No.
Yeah. No. Well, he's not rushed. He's ready, and he showed it tonight. Look, he's got a 750 save percentage the last 5 years, Blaine. He's won everywhere he's played. He's been at the very top in save percentage in every friggin' league. Doesn't matter what it is. Now he comes to the NHL. What's he do? For a team that needs a goalie that can actually win a game?
He won a game.
He wins. So you know what? He's going to keep playing. I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with you vehemently on this.
Well,
I didn't expect this. I didn't expect us to be going down this. This was not a conversation I thought I'd be having with a guest tonight. But anyway, we'll have to agree to disagree on that.
Sure.
You're not going to spoil my my mood tonight. But what about Owen Beck? That friggin' goal.
Unreal game.
That goal, it's too bad because he like I tweeted out in the second period there, texted out. that this is the best game he's played maybe since his rookie season when he got called up there or whatever. But solid game, and he deserved that goal. I was so happy for him. That's his patented shot, that wrister, low, hard, beautiful goal.
From just inside the faceoff dot.
Yeah. And what happens there? Friggin' Moby there on the bench calls a timeout, and it's a friggin' the old offside challenge thing. I've got a little rant here about this now. When they came up with this stupid offside challenge on thing where all the GMs are sitting, okay, they're sitting at the meetings, their cushy little meeting down in Florida, where Bergevin with the plant hiding behind a plant and all that, all the frivolity that they have down there, where they're working real hard to try to better the game, right? And the NHL's having an issue with crowds because the game's not that exciting. There's not enough goals. So they're all sitting in there, they're brainstorming, One GM says, I know, offside challenge. That'll get more goals in the game. That'll bring more excitement. That'll bring the fans out of their seats. Yeah, genius. Let's do that. And, the rest is history. Can you imagine the Super Bowl, Blaine? Josh Allen, game-winning drive, 50-yard line, sits back to pass, throws a BB, one-handed grab, most beautiful catch, most exciting end to a Super Bowl ever for the game-winning touchdown. Oh, wait a sec. There's a coach's challenge. Oh, the tight end was a quarter of an inch over the line when the ball was snapped. Could you ever see the NFL saying, yeah, let's have a coach's challenge on a fucking offside? I'm sorry. It just infuriates me. I hate it. And I wish they'd friggin' smarten up and get rid of the stupid rule, all because one time a guy went over the line 3 feet and the refs fucked it up. And they said, oh, well, we can't have offsides. With you gotta be able to look at the replay and what was Josh Anderson doing? First of all, stepping over when he was just stationary. I mean, that's on Josh too. But how did it affect the goal going in? 97% of the time, there's absolutely no effect whatsoever on the goal, with a guy being a quarter of an inch over the friggin' line before, just let the refs officiate the game and stop it ruining it. That ruined a kid's friggin' first ever NHL goal. And it's a perfect example of just, and especially when it's at home, right? And the team, and then they do it. And, I know it's the rule, but it should have never become a rule. The game was fine before they came up with this stupid rule.
Well, the rule is supposed to be they needed exclusive, extensive proof to overturn the call. Something blatantly obvious. If it takes 5 minutes, a protractor, a physics degree, a laser level, that's not extensive proof. It's not enough to overturn. So
for sure.
I don't mind the coaches' challenges, but for stuff like this, there's got to be a time limit.
Yeah, you don't mind it, and send Fowler back. Yeah, we're in opposite land tonight. If Jacque had done what Carrier did there,
he'd be suspended for months.
He'd be benched for the next year and a half. He'd be sent to the ECHL. What Carrier did. They're lucky they didn't get back in the game with that, because that was not very disciplined.
Yeah, it was pretty close there. They almost did.
Well, man, I don't know. That was dumb on Carrier's move. Who played more on the right side, Struble or Engstrom? They were kind of moving. They were both. They kind of switching back and forth. I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Did you notice that it was like
they were back and forth?
They were. Yeah. Yeah.
And Engstrom's another guy I thought played a really strong game. He made some really good defensive plays.
Not bad. Although that hook at the end or whatever. Almost got the Pittsburgh back in it, but yeah, he wasn't bad. I mean, Montreal's speed was noticeable tonight. They were fast. They were the faster team, certainly through the first two periods. They were they were rocking tonight. And Slaf, my goodness, this is the kid. This is the guy I saw in his draft year when I said, okay, there's no friggin' way that that the Canadians can take Shane Wright over this guy. I saw it in the Olympics. I saw it in Liga. I saw it in the Liga playoffs. I saw it in the World Championships, where when he has his confidence with the puck, is just, you can't get it from him. He has really good hands. We didn't always see that in the first 3 years, but now it's just week by week. You see the confidence growing with the puck, right? And he made, like, when he does that swing around out by the blue line now with the puck, he never loses it. He makes the right play. He protects it, and you can't get it from him. He's too big. And like when he, and he makes the right play every time now, pretty much every time. It's really nice to see him blossoming. That's 8 points in 8 games now for Slaf. 2 assists tonight. A beautiful assist on the Cappy goal.
That was a perfect pass.
It was. And again, used that long reach, came around with it, burst through the center, anticipated the play. And Cappy, too, is just so freaking smart. Came across the blue line, and then, he's very opportunistic, Cappy. And, saw the play developing, went to the right spot. Slaf swings in, reaches out with that long reach, and, drags it around the defender over to Kapanen. Perfect pass. Nice goal. Kapanen ties with Beck Seneca for the rookie lead in goals. So he was Cappy had the best goals expected the last 2 nights. You say he was what, 70% again tonight?
It was 79%.
79. So his one of the some Montreal media, I guess, the reasoning for why Cappy could only be a third line center in the future is because his advanced stats as a rookie going up against other teams' top 2 lines every friggin' night haven't been great. Well, the last 3 games he led the Habs the last 2 games, and tonight he was third, I think, third best. So that's turning around. So that excuse is going out the window. But I mean, I look back on it, 2 rookie centers in the past 20 years have been regular penalty killers. Like, that's more than a minute a game penalty killing, and led all rookies in goals. Now, I'm not saying Kapanen's gonna, but he's tied for the rookie lead in goals. But Tyler Johnson, Jonathan Toews, that's it. And you know what both of them did? They centered the first line on Stanley Cup winners, is what they did. So you don't think Kapanen can center the second line on a cup contender? I see it all day. I really do. And he's just getting started here,
Yeah.
You have to be good defensively, and he is. You have to be able to create offense. Well, he's on that's 10 goals in 30 games, so 33%. He's on pace for more than 25 goals this year. You know how many rookie centers get 25 goals? It's a small.
It's a handful. It's not very many.
It is. And and it's not all because of Demidov. I keep seeing those.
Some of it's because of Slafkovsky.
Yeah, now it's because of Slaf. That'll be the new. Well, he's playing with Slaf, But Cappy,
he's got to get to the right spots, though. He's getting to the right spots at the right time. He's timing it right. You can tell that he was trained in Finland because he plays the Finnish game to a T.
Yeah. Are you agreeing with me?
No.
Okay. I was wondering what the hell.
He's a rider. It's all because of Demidov and Slafkovsky.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, what the hell? So,
I mean, putting Slaf on the second line, though, he's stepped up his game, and that second line looked dangerous. So now they have two lines that are doing well. Beck playing on that third line. That third line looked really good.
Yeah.
Three lines playing the way they were. The fourth line plugging in a few shifts here and there, like they did, where they hemmed in the Penguins in their own zone. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Beck looked like just what they needed in the bottom six. Like he was outstanding tonight. His speed was good. Like he is a decent skater. He competed. He was smart. He's always been a smart player too. Just in his other NHL, I don't know if it was, thinking too much or whatever. Tonight he was just playing, and I had noticed the last 2 weeks in Laval he was really playing well. Ever since other guys were called up, and I think he thought, oh, I better get my ass in gear here, right? Or I'm going to be a afterthought. And he looked tonight like, hey, no, you're not sending me back down. I'm up for good this time. And I wouldn't be surprised. I thoroughly impressed with his game tonight. I thought he was he added a lot to the bottom six, much needed infusion. I don't know if this means well, it probably means that Joe Veleno, eventually here, even though he's left shot and all that jazz, how many points does he have now? 1 still on the season?
Yeah.
Texier, that was quite a snipe, for first goal of the year. Freaking he didn't look like a 1-goal scorer on that shot. That was a beauty.
Oh, and that was from Beck closing off the escape lane along the wall, blocking it. The puck came loose, went right to Texier, and he did rip that one bar in. So that was great little turnaround play. Ticked, the transitional play the Canadians had tonight was excellent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the defense was a lot better. And you're right, they played better in front of Fowler than maybe they had been, well, I mean, the first period, Fowler didn't, and it's often the case. You get a rookie goalie come in or whatever, and they say, okay, we got to protect him, right? And no shots the first 8 minutes. So come into Pittsburgh, do that, get the first goal, which is nice, right? But that helps when the goalie doesn't get a shot. But it also helped that he saved the first 2 shots, even if they were later in the period.
Either.
No, and he makes a lot of shots look easy. Like you could see tonight, like that one tip by Crosby, that's getting by Monty. Monty's heading. He's almost over in the corner by the time that puck ends up in the net, and Fowler stood his ground, didn't move at all. His tracking is excellent. His positioning is excellent. His composure, very good. I was thoroughly impressed. Time will tell, maybe you're right. Maybe they won't keep him up all year. My first impression, even if he has a couple of rough spots, hey, a couple of rough spots beats rough spots every night. It still does. They want to win.
That's true.
Jeff Molson's not going to say, oh, no, don't ruin the kid. I don't care if we make the playoffs, just don't ruin that kid. No, Jeff Molson wants him to make the playoffs. Trust me. And so does the coaching staff. The whole team wants to build off of what they did last year. And they're not going to make the playoffs with Sam Montembeault as their starter. They're just not.
Not the way he's playing. No.
It's not happening. So unless you got another solution, Blaine, I'm afraid it's going to be the kid's going to get ruined in nets.
Well, on his behalf, though, in what he did well, what you don't see from Montembeault is when he was in his net, he was upright. He wasn't leaning forward trying to track. He was upright and he was looking. So he was making himself bigger in the net. Whereas Montembeault, he kind of slumps and he's down on his goal line, where Fowler was out a little bit and battling through that. I think that alone and the controlled lateral movements, those two things made all the difference for the Canadians in goal.
Yeah. Well, Mark, cheers to you, my friend. This made me laugh. I agree with an early statement made in this chat. Monty had his best game of the season tonight. Cheers.
That's kind of mean. That's kind of mean. Points to you.
Well, hey.
Hey, I don't mind mean as long as it's funny.
Well, when it's funny.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Habs were only 41% in the faceoff dot tonight. Suzuki, 21%. I'm interested in Beck. What was he? 57%. Like it.
What are the odds?
Yeah. And Cappy, 64%. Cappy played 19 minutes. I'm salivating. Up to 10 goals. Oh my goodness, I like it.
When his line was playing as well as it was, damn straight he's going to get extra ice.
Well, he should be playing. I mean, with the bottom six being what it had been, he should have been playing 18 minutes a game 2 weeks ago, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know, another so-so game from Bolduc, really.
Well, I think he played better than he has in the last few games.
You like
I'm
Bolduc,
seeing an improvement there.
You always defend Bolduc because he played in the Quebec League or what? You saw him lots.
Yeah,
is that why?
That's what we do.
Yeah, defend your
living
own?
in Halifax, I love the Remparts.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? No, the kid did play better tonight than he has in the last few games. There's a lot to clean up. I think it had more to do with the fact he's on the road and he doesn't feel like he has to put on a show.
And he was playing with Suzuki and Caulfield.
That does help.
Yeah. Blaine, you could look half decent playing with those two some nights. No?
Not with my busted wing.
Okay. 20 years ago?
No, like last week.
Yeah. No, I mean, you looked good 20 years ago playing with them.
No, still no.
Galley had a little bit of jump tonight.
He did.
And like that first shift or whatever, he almost he broke in, and I mean, he thought there should have been a call, but no, there's no call on that. He just got pushed and down he went. But that was the best he skated in a while, and he got rewarded with a goal.
I think that's his first 5-on-5 goal of the year.
Oh, and it was a good shot. Nice play.
Yeah.
I thought Slaf was offside there.
Well, but according to the protractor, it wasn't.
No, I know. All those lunges that Slaf does paid off there. You see he does that I've seen him do that a few times. He knew, better get that leg back, and he did the yoga stance there. But and I well, first thing I said, that'll be challenged. That'll be offside, but Moby didn't challenge that one.
Again, we'll give everyone a little bit of time to go Google Moby.
Yeah. Well,
I understand all these.
I've seen the demographics, and there's about 3 people under the age of 40 that watch these. So that's right in their wheelhouse.
Oh yes, you're right there.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to start talking about Debbie and Tiffany, because I think we're alone now.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think I like Moby a little more,
Yeah.
Because We're All Made of Stars. That was a good song.
Well, the Canadians were all made of stars tonight, that's for sure.
They were.
No riders in the game tonight.
No. Yeah. And Well, that's most of my main points. Let's get back to the stats for a sec here. Galley only played 9:51. Well, how much time for Beck? 9:08. Yeah, he could have played more. Oh yeah, Davidson, geez, he came close to getting the first one again. Just the shift before Beck. And then Beck scored. No, good. And then, of course, offside challenge. Lane Hudson. Okay. I texted his dad. I don't know when it was, but it was earlier in the year. And he did it again. I said, I know who played nets when all the Hudson boys were, playing street hockey. It was Lane, wasn't it? And he freaking saved another one tonight.
Well, I've been told that Hudson can't play defense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I watched that game, and if he's not playing defense, I don't know what the fuck that was.
That was beautiful. And yes, on that occasion, he bailed out his goalie. He and no, that the defense wasn't too bad tonight.
I thought they were pretty active in cutting off those cross-seam passes.
It was good transition, good speed. Matheson made another great friggin' defensive play there with it using his speed in the third period. There, he makes one or two of those every game. It seems like, and I know he gets razzed on because you pay more attention to when a guy has the puck and what he does with it, and when he has a turnover, then all the good things that he does sometimes get erased in people's minds. But every game, Matheson closes off plays that otherwise would be breakaways, scoring chances, goals with his speed. He's really, I think he's having his best year this year and has been really solid this year.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm agreeing.
Okay. Good.
Got to give you one.
Yeah. Hits. Struble with 4. Yeah, Struble was. Someone said, Struble was awful tonight. I don't know.
I don't see that. I thought he played a quietly good game.
Yeah, he did. He was better, and but there is a faction out there that, Jack Guy's got to be in, Struble's got to be out, because he was on the ice for that goal against. People focus on one play where a guy gets burnt. And as I said, after the game, he got burned by a guy that was one of the first 6 selections on Canada's Olympic team, like a pretty good hockey player in Braden Point.
So I've heard. If anyone I don't know. It's not really a household name yet, but I think, how's it go? Sidney Crosby?
Yeah.
Is he okay? I think he's okay.
Yeah.
So I've heard. I don't know. I live in Halifax. We don't get a lot of news out here.
Well, I mean, you can't focus on, the NHL is full of fantastic hockey players. Yeah. And every now and then you're going to get burned. I don't care. Cale Makar gets burned. Every defenseman on occasion gets burned. So you can't dwell on it. Struble has been good this year for the most part. And I think we saw tonight with Engstrom in for Jack-Eye that there was more. The transition game was better. It was more. They were more mobile. They got the puck out of their zone quicker. The team was faster because they had a more mobile defense. So,
it's one of those issues that we'd always talk about before the season started. Jack-Eye is built for those bigger, more physical teams.
Yes.
And Struble can deal with more speed. So the two of them are going to go back and forth. And now with Engstrom there, when it comes to playing teams that have high-end talent and some speed, yeah, I can see why Jack Guy's put to the side.
Right. And there'll be nights, like you say, like when they need him, and Engstrom or Struble will be out, and then when it'll be interesting what happens when Goalie comes. But they're also, I think, they want a good look at Engstrom for other teams, to know whether the plan is to trade Struble or Jack Guy or Engstrom, or probably one of the three down the road. I've been calling for him to get Stamkos and saying, get him before he gets hot, because I friggin' scouted him last week, 2 weeks ago, and I said, this guy is not done. He's still got all his friggin' speed. He can still play. Well, what happens tonight? Did you check did you happen to look at the 4 goals for Stamkos? 4 goals for Stamkos tonight. 4. Yeah.
Just 4?
Just 4. Yeah. So the price
you would have had me a double hat trick. I'm sorry, but just 4 is not enough.
Yeah, well, the price just went up another friggin' 2 rounds in the draft pick to go with the prospect now.
It's up to the 4th round now.
Yeah. Well, I'd maybe even give up 2 4th rounders for Stamkos. But I still, I would love to see him in that top 6. He's the missing, as far as I'm concerned, he's the missing piece. And I don't know, does Nashville want to get rid of him now? I don't know.
Probably.
I hope so. I hope the price didn't go up double. But anyway,
I'm sure the price went up, but I don't see them wanting to hold on to him.
And I hope people stop saying he's done, because he's not. I took a close look at him and I said, trust me on this. His skating he's the fastest guy on Nashville, fastest forward. He hasn't lost a step. And anyway, I'd love for the Canadians to try to get him. I think they've helped their goaltending problems. I don't know if that they're solved necessarily, but the first returns are positive. This will energize them. Doc's not that far away. That will help. I think Beck's going to help the bottom 6. I really liked what I saw from him tonight, and I think he helps. He's going to help. Get Bolduc down in that bottom 6 with Beck and whoever, maybe Anderson. Not a bad line. And get Stamkos. I think I hope they're at least having talks. And maybe tonight, if they were hemming and hawing a bit, 4-goal game, okay, let's do it. Let's pull the trigger. But we'll see. Obviously its salary is going to be an issue. What's that?
Yeah. The cap's probably going to hurt that.
Well, yeah, but I think up until tonight, at least, you could probably get Nashville to retain some salary, but
you probably still could.
Yeah,
$8 million for a 35-year-old's a lot.
Well,
so you can probably get away with having them hold 50% if you're willing to pay a little bit more.
If they're willing to pay friggin' 50%, jeez, go get them. And pay whatever you need to pay. There's connections there. I could see a playoff series against Tampa like I see it in the crystal ball. I'd love to see Stamkos playing against Tampa and being inspired by that.
He'd be hungry. He'd be very hungry.
Yeah, he would. And I'd love to see it. And I hope that they're pursuing it, but we'll see. I mean,
I'm not against it.
No, and I really don't think, I think we saw things from Doc before he got hurt, encouraging his face-off percentage was up. He was winning 50% of his draws. He was scoring goals. If he comes back and can fill the third line center role, Beck's looking half decent. They've got They've got Evans.
Yeah.
I think wing is maybe a bigger need right now. A top 6 winger that can fit into with the other 3 wingers that they have in the top 6. Knock Bolduc down to a third line role where I think he's still, he was fourth line last year for the majority of the year, right?
Yep.
So to ask him to jump up to at 22 up to the first line is probably asking a bit too much. He's still a young player. I like him. He wasn't horrible tonight, but he doesn't look like he's not ready to be
he's not there yet. No,
an impact first line winger. I don't think.
But adding depth scoring would definitely help. That's why losing Line A and Newhook really hurt.
Yeah. How long is Newhook going to be? It shouldn't be that. Oh, was it broken ankle?
Yeah, it's going to be mid-March before he's even ready to play.
Ankles it's not like that one can be a little longer, right?
Yeah.
But
they're targeting mid-March.
Oh, that long, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about Line A?
Was it just before the Olympics or during the Olympic break?
Okay. Well, be interesting to see what happens with Line A. Eh? I don't know.
Well, for his sake, he's going to want to come back and start playing well because he's playing for a contract next year. Not necessarily with Montreal, but with somebody.
Yeah, for sure. I think most of the people here are, and I mean, it's not surprising or saying ride Fowler, but yeah, I mean, it's one game sample. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves here. However, when you compare what we've seen from Montreal this year, Fowler's going to have to play a hell of a lot worse to look worse than Montreal has this year.
Yeah, because right now the 2 best goalies in the system are Dobesh and Fowler. They're getting the best outcomes. Yeah, Dobesh has had a few bad games, but he's also had some great games. He's just inconsistent.
Right.
Whereas,
sure.
Unfortunately, Montembeault this year has been consistent, and it's not in a good way.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe this call up kind of wakes up the veteran goaltender and realizes maybe his job's at stake.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Well, we were only going to have you for 20, 30 minutes, and we're up to 37. Yeah. So, sir, on that note, with us semi-agreeing, we'll let you go.
Well, it's always fun to come on.
It is.
And it's more fun to just poke the bear.
Oh, no. Hey, I don't want you agreeing with me all the time.
Well, no.
No.
That's no fun.
Well, you got to have debate, right? So.
That's right.
You got me going.
I mean, no, you don't.
I'm here for an argument. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, yeah, the old Monty Python sketch. That's really going back. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
You do, eh?
What's my outgoing music? The Benny Hill song?
Oh, okay. Well, good.
No.
Right on. A sailor with a sense of humor. The best.
I don't know any that don't laugh at themselves.
Yeah, exactly. He is host of Habs Unfiltered podcast. When you're not watching my podcast, which is on all the time, pretty much, if you find a little time, go check it out. The 3 sailors there, they're pretty entertaining with him being the lead man, the chief petty officer.
I left my red nose at home.
Okay, Blaine. Good seeing you. Thanks again. And you around Saturday night, or what's going on Saturday night?
No.
Okay. All right. Playing hockey?
No. Coaching.
Oh, you're back coaching?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh. May not see you too much if you're back coaching. I know all about that. All right.
Basically just sleeping at the rink at this point.
Yeah, well, hey, they need your input. You're no, don't play that goalie. Put in the sieve. You're all of your coaching acumen there.
Well, I'm going for the top draft pick.
All right, my friend. Thanks, Blaine. We'll talk to you soon. But not Saturday.
No.
Okay. Thanks. Blain Potvin. Ladies and gentlemen. I was a little surprised by his take tonight, but hey, we can't always all be on the same wavelength, right? And it made for an animated discussion. Got me going. Let's get to some comments here. Montreal has a second line center, Kapanen. Ray, if I could donate money back to you guys, like you donate to me, I'd be sending you $5 right now. Yes, sir. Fowler looking cool as a cucumber. I loving his confidence. For sure, Mark. Galley scores. Haters eat that. Yeah, I know. I still pull for Galley. I want him to succeed. I want him to finish out his career in Montreal on a good note, playing well, finish his contract, go be a daddy with his beautiful wife and beautiful family. Well, Caulfield, where's everyone this evening? Normally a few chat while the game is on. Okay. Fowler solid, always square to the shooter in his crease. For the love of God, keep him away from Eric Ramo. I don't think Eric tells them to flail all over the place, but anyway. Team is playing well tonight. Everyone seems engaged, and Fowler making the saves when there are turnovers. Refreshing to see after subpar performance from the other two netminders. Go, Habs, go. Grant, you always say Galley's a streaky goal scorer. Maybe this one starts a streak. Let's go, Galley. I hope so. Yep. The beer should taste good tonight. Oh. Not pouring any of that over my head tonight, boys and girls. $13.99. Who sent that? Donnie McCaskill. $13.99. Oh my goodness. That's a cool number. Thank you very much. Love the show. Thanks. Nice to see positive. Enjoy a beer. Oh, I'll finish this one off for that. Thank you, Donnie. Oh, Sheldon with the toonie. Appreciate it. Fowler is a real deal. I don't trust Monty. You know what? I'd go with Fowler and Kakkonen over the other two right now. But definitely, it looks like they're going with Monty as the backup, and I don't agree with that right now. It should be the other two, Doby and Fowler, but I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. Unfortunately, like practice there today or yesterday, what did they have? They had Doby as the third string, right? But Goalie's missed for sure. He's a steady presence with some grit. Yeah, but defense didn't look too bad tonight. Oh, this is interesting. Carrier hasn't been the same since the hit in the playoffs. He was better with Matheson beside him last year. I thought Carrier started the year pretty strong, actually. But, his goal differential is right at the bottom of the league. I know, he's kind of been the guy. He's sort of the guy that gets stuck with the six defenseman all the time, right? And they play him. It's not easy to play 20 minutes a night and play with different partners and play with the six defensemen all the time, play with different and it's not always the same 6 defensemen. So I get that. And he's asked to play, I mean, when you're on the PK all the time, you're going to be on for more goals against just naturally because, the power play scores more often than when it's even strength. But yeah, the last 2 months haven't been great. Reinbacher is probably not far away from being better than him. I guess, them not calling up Reinbacher at this point says that, they want him to keep, they're going to be careful with him. And Carrier, who was the one that stepped up and played, he played on the second pairing for tonight. Or how many minutes did he get tonight? 21-34. So, I think what they're looking at here, maybe they're saying, okay, we'll have Struble and Engstrom as the third pairing, with Jackeye being rotated in, and have Carrier playing, in the top 4 until Goalie gets back. And that sort of makes sense, I guess. Engstrom played a strong game. Yeah, Engstrom was strong. All the kids were strong tonight. Not sure if the team needs another offensive defenseman. The Habs eventually need some big bodies that hit hard for future playoff runs. Yeah, I agree with that. But he helped the transition game tonight, and that speed wasn't bad. Is it too early to hope that Fowler stays up with the big club and that the team plays better with him in nets? Well, if you ask Blaine, yeah, it's too early. No, no, it's not too early. Not in my opinion. I mean, I think he's got the it factor. He's full of confidence, swag, poise, highly intelligent. Like, I don't know, like, people should watch that. I was lucky enough to talk to his goalie coach from Boston College yesterday, and it was a great interview. He talked about just how unflappable this kid is, and he doesn't let a bad goal bother him. He bounces right back. He's a student of the game. He knows how every player shoots, their tendencies, studies everything, right? And I loved seeing him tonight out there. Like, I saw it in the first period. He's standing there and he's looking. You see him looking around and making sure, he knew where everyone was on the ice, anticipating, saying, okay, right, this could be going over to the guy on the right. Where is he? Like, not just focusing on the friggin' guy with the puck, and being ready for any and all situations. Like, I bet you this kid plays chess, because that's the impression I got. Very intelligent on the ice, tracked the puck a lot better than Monty is right now. Not saying, that Monty didn't last year, but for whatever reason, not this year. He's not tracking the puck well. And like I said, there were a couple of shots from the point that were tipped. He was right in front of them, Just be in position. Don't be moving, out of the net when the puck's coming through, and even if it's going wide, don't overcommit. If it's going wide, let it go wide. Don't go out of the net, because it could get tipped. And Monty's been just letting everything through, this year. And like, even that first goal, like, he got he was in the right position, Crosby made a nice pass, and I watched the replay of it. And Fowler, you could see that Fowler, you know, he anticipated that this was going to happen. He looked over and saw, Rust right there, moved over. He was in position, got his glove on the puck, and it just, almost made a spectacular save because he anticipated what was going to happen, was in position, tracked the play, and was, wasn't. If that was Dobie when he's struggling, he's freaking over like he's behind the net or something, doing a cartwheel or whatever. But this kid's, there are some similarities to Brodeur and Price just in how he's just calm and poised and tracking the puck well and in position. I'd rather have a goalie that makes saves look easy than the guy that's, makes a spectacular save because he was out of position. This is a 2-beer night, folks. I don't know. We have 700. We have 700 on board here. 713. That's not bad. 100 in live chat. If you're watching on X, come and join us. I'll probably read your comments. It's a big part of what we're doing here, interacting with the people that are watching. I think it's important. I guess there was quite a bit of talk before. Looking forward to Grant. His beers will taste extra special tonight. Cheers. I don't know how many shows, have a guy drink beer or not, but I don't know. It just seemed like the right thing to do. Hockey and beer. I used to drink a lot of beer, don't that much anymore, but I don't know. It just seems like have a beer with my Habs friends on here. It just seems like the right thing to do. Cheers. If you got one, have a drink right now. Cheers. That tastes good. Francois, happy with the result. Fowler, few players, but the overall play of the team wasn't so great. Yeah. Blaine thought they were great. I don't know. Like, frig, 35 shots, at least 35 shots against. Still some breakdowns. There were times where, they had the lead and all of a sudden it was like pond hockey and they're opening it up and I'm going, all right, you have a 2-goal lead. What are you doing here? Batten down the hatches right at the end of the second period there. And then it continued into the third. They let in that goal right away but anyway, rather than a panic move, it looks as though Fowler might actually just be a very good goaltender. Yeah, well, I mean, that's been that's what they say. All accounts are that he's a bona fide starting goalie in the NHL, and if you're a bona fide starting goalie in the NHL, you have a 750 friggin' win percentage over the past 5 years at every level you played. You're always top 5 in every stat, goaltending stat. You're good. You stop pucks. You are confident. You're a winner. That's what Montreal needs in net right now. And I can't disagree more with Blaine saying that, as soon as he has a hiccup, that he should go back down, because I really don't think it's going to affect him adversely. He's not going to be great every night, but being very good 75% of the time beats being bad 75% of the time, like a certain other goalie. Edgley, just me, or does Fowler remind you of Price? Yeah. I just mentioned that, so I agree. It's nice to get a few big saves. Guys played with a lot more confidence. I like what I saw. Fowler has the juice. And did you see at the end, Monty, smiles, and Fowler had a big smile. Monty, smiling, and he kind of looked away, and there's that look on his face like, oh my, I've lost my job. I maybe I'm wrong, but that I sort of saw that that look on Monte, the look of resignation. Bontoon, Grant, you were right all along. Call the kid up. Yes. Trade for Stamkos. Right twice. I'm gonna drink to that. Sometimes this blind squirrel gets the nut. 2 times I got the nut. Yes. I'm in a good mood tonight. Blaine spoiled it for a little bit, but actually he just got me revved up. Can't spoil my mood tonight. Grant seems to be right more than he's wrong. Well, very good eye for the game. Thank you, Mark. Yeah. Well, yes and no. I mean, I actually sort of liked that he got 35, ended up getting 35 shots, and that it didn't all come at the start of the game. That, they got a lead, 3-0 lead, and, the other team came on. He battened down the hatches, but, they never got it within 1, so he didn't have to panic, not that he ever would, but I didn't mind that scenario where, it was 35 shots, but they weren't at the start of the game. He got eased into it, got comfortable, and got a bunch of shots, and his confidence, I'm sure, is good right now. So, yeah, what did I say? 934 save percentage, or not bad, right? A little better than Monty's, like 10% almost. 942, basically 10% better. That's not bad. One of the very few third period leads we didn't screw up. Let's take the win, but they have to learn to hold a lead without cracking. Yeah. Well, they don't have enough depth in the bottom 6 right now, and it's tough, right? Because you have to ride the other guys. Like, too many players getting less than 10 minutes ice time, right? Davidson 544, Beck 908, Galley 9 minutes. It's tough at the end of a game when Tekshay 12 minutes, Valeno 12 minutes. So interesting that Cappy got 6.5 more minutes than Demidov, but hey, it's Demidov that's making him, right? Cappy can't play on his own. He's just a creation of Ivan Demidov. Yeah. Some people are stubborn. I wasn't a fan of Carrier's game again tonight. Yeah. It wasn't fantastic, but Monty's going to be in probably Sunday. I think they'll come back with Fowler, I would think, Saturday night, and then Monty Sunday. Although, I would really like to see him and Paul Antoniadis. Antoniadis. Paul is going to be at the game on Sunday, and he's really hoping that Monty's not nets, and and I don't blame him, that it's Fowler. What a friggin' homecoming he'll get if he does play. So do they come back with Monty Saturday night and then bring the kid in and get that crowd pumped on Sunday? Do they? I mean, personally, I'd play in both games. If he plays Saturday night and he's good, come back with him Sunday. But I don't expect that. I don't expect Marty to do that. I wish he would, though. Someone has to get going. I know. That glove save towards the end on Crosby goes in 10 out of 10 times. Was it even on net? I don't know. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. It was a nice glove save. Steady goalie. Game looks easy. Congrats to JF. Yep. Jean-Francois Oud. Hughes will try to trade Carrier, or he will be watching some games once Goalie comes back. I could be wrong. Well, definitely when Reinbacher comes up. Captain and second among forwards in ice time. 1903. Engstrom played 11. Beck. Yep. Thank you, Eddie. You always bringing in some good stats. I was hoping Cappy would get that second goal, Oh, frig. He made the great play, anticipated the play with the empty net, hit it off the boards to himself, and shot her wide. I was really, really hoping he'd get two and have the goal lead for rookies again. But like I say, he's a unicorn. Like, not many centers are in the mix for the rookie goal scoring lead that also kill penalties as rookies. It's like two in the last 20 years, Jonathan Toews and Tyler Johnson. And Tyler Johnson had 26 points in Tampa's freaking first cup win. He was fantastic as a first line center. And Toews, well, we all know about Toews, first line center on 3 cup winners or 2 or 3. Like, so these people say, well, his advanced stats, he's been up against first lines, Kapanen. They throw him out there and beside another rookie. I know it's Demigod and everyone thinks, but I mean, Demidov turns over the puck a lot when he's handled it. And then, he's not perfect yet. It's going to take time for Demidov. And the two of them are out there against other teams' first lines and second lines. Demi's turning over the pucks because he's trying to do too much sometimes. Who do you think's backing him up? No wonder his advanced stats aren't fantastic yet. But he's a rookie center playing against Matthews, playing against, he's been up against some of the best centers in the league. Steady. Of course, his advanced stats as a rookie center aren't going to be at the top of the league. Does that mean when he's 25, he's not going to be a second line center? Because I'm sorry, but that's not what I see. I see a guy that, to me, he's a consummate second line center on a winner. I think, like, I'm more convinced than ever now that he is going to be an effective second line center on a contender. There's little doubt in my mind. He's just, he's exceeded my expectations, and my expectations were already high. Yeah, I know. Don't get me started on the offside again. Slaf was a frickin' beast. His game has matured so much. I know, eh? Slaf, Cap, and Demi have some serious chemistry on the ice. I hope they keep the line as is. Yeah, as long as they find someone to play with the other two. Maybe it's Doc and Beck plays third line center. I mean, if they don't get anybody, that, almost have to think that would perhaps be what we see. down the road. But hey, to go into Pittsburgh, right, with a team that on average tonight was 25.00 years of age, easily the youngest team in the league. More than 5 years younger than Winnipeg. Is just it bodes so well for this team and its future. So I thought Anderson was horrendous until he blocked those shots for us. Well, he does those little things, right? Aaron Amadeus, you called it, Grant. Sometimes I do. Please hit and like, subscribe. Yes, Mark. Love the title of this episode, Grant. A nod to the late Alan Sherman. I was around when that record was released. Oh, okay. You're a boomer. Yeah. Hello, Mudda. Hello, Fowler. Good. I'm glad somebody got that. Yeah. Habs need to play with the lead. In the second, they were rushing at 4 and allowing Pittsburgh to counterattack. Getting back there, Elvis. I'm having fun with the titles, and I try to get some puns in there and some cultural references. Sometimes it's old and or whatever, but not everyone will get them. But it makes me feel better when somebody acknowledges that, okay, I liked it and I got it. So that makes me feel good. Thank you. Rebound control by Fowler, yes, exactly. Just about every one of these comments is good. That's why I like going through, Team D was decent, lots of active sticks, but nobody wants to clean up the grease in front of the goalie. That's where we missed Jacky and Goalie. Well, they outplayed Pittsburgh by the first two periods by a whole bunch because they were out skating them. And you gain in one category, sometimes you lose in another. And tonight against a Pittsburgh team that's not, I wouldn't call them big and I wouldn't call them rugged. It made sense not to have Jacky in the lineup tonight. And I don't think it would have been, I don't think they'd have played better if they had Jacky playing tonight. Maybe I'm wrong, but I really like the speed and the transition from the defenseman tonight. Dryden and Price, yeah. And I was wondering, how is it a sign that Dryden played his first game against Pittsburgh? Price played his first game against Pittsburgh. Roy played his first game against Pittsburgh. I almost tempted to go back and look in the archives and think, were all of those games delayed a half hour too because of an accident on the 12:43 or whatever it was? Because then it'd be just scary coincidental. It's already scary coincidental that 3 Hall of Fame goalies all played their first games against Pittsburgh, and now the next one, we hope. Well, most of us do. I don't know if Blaine does, but the next one plays against Pittsburgh too. Yeah, it was. That's quite a coincidence. Yeah, I know, Andy. I imagine he feels bad about that. I'm sorry. I'm more pissed off at Moby for calling the stupid offside challenge. Come on, Blaine. Oh, that must have been when he was talking about Fowler. I'm sure there'll be a few. There'll be a few disagreements there. Why can't some accept a 21-year-old goalie is just ready for the NHL because he's that good? Well, That was my point, Jake. They can't even think about sending Fowler down after that. No, they can't. He has that Hall of Fame stoicism. Let's hope so. Dryden started Stanley Cup players with less pro experience. Yeah, but he got ruined by it, and he didn't help the Habs win. So, Scott, you're so right with Cap, and you and me are right with Fowler. Hey, 2-1 for me, Scott. Yeah, what team would want Monty? Well, apparently Montreal. Fowler is of that ilk. Peter Fishwick. Yeah. Hey, there you go. If his save percentage was .920, it would have been 4-3 and a 6-5 for a few minutes. That's how tight the NHL game is. Easily could have been Pens. Yeah. Well, if Fowler's save percentage was .850 like Monty's, right? I don't even want to think about it. Well, he'd have let in, it was 1-0, 8 minutes in, and then the first shot by Pittsburgh would have gone in, and it had been tied 1-1. And then you go from there. The crowd would have been into it. Like the Habs kept Fowler, and the Habs kept the crowd out of it. Fowler didn't look overwhelmed or rattled. I wondered how he would react to Pittsburgh scored. It didn't phase him at all. And that's what Mike Ayers, his goalie coach, that's what Mike Ayers, his goalie coach, was saying, Pittsburgh dominated this match, both eyesight and statistically. Pittsburgh had 66% of scoring chances. Obviously, penalties were part of it. Yeah, I was trying to agree with him on it there after a while, but no, I was surprised by his take on that. Imagine watching that game and thinking of when we should send him back down. Yeah. Blaine is a great guest and a great guy, by the way, but he's the only one on this channel who believes Fowler won't stay. Yeah, I kind of figured that he might get some opposition to that. And that's fine. Bullshit offside call. I hear you. That was not a great one, was it? I just, guest or host with nothing more than fan of the game knowledge. Yeah. Well, Blaine's a coach and a good one, decent scouting eye too. That's why I have him on. I don't know if that's any reference to Blaine or not, but he's credible. Just sometimes we have, sometimes people have counter. Usually, Blaine and I are on the same page. In this instance, we're not. I didn't see any camera angles that showed offside. Yeah, I know. I'm on fire. Enstrom had a good match. Too bad he got beat and had that penalty. He sure saved Struvel's ass earlier. Yeah. Well, the look on that poor kid's face. Jay says Struble was awful tonight. I don't agree with that. Thanks, Eddie. I saw that earlier. Amazing that you take Matheson away from Dobson. Dobson ends up +3. Well, yeah, okay. VDAC's always got to have a freaking take that's out there. I'm glad I don't have VDAC on as a guest. We'd be butting heads the whole night. Anderson wasn't focused on that offside. Inexcusable. By the way, I love you, VDAC. I think I said that last time too. You've always got a take that I just do not agree with. Sorry, Matheson is underrated. I'm sorry. And to use a plus one game and his plus minus is better, so that must mean Matheson's no good. Come on. Yeah. What did they allow to correct ref mistakes and offsides, but not missed or bad penalties they shouldn't have been called? Yeah. Reinbacher will be taking Carrier's seat eventually this season. Yeah. Yeah. I'd agree with that. Hudson with a scintillating save behind Fowler. Buy the kids a steak tonight, boys. Fowler turned 21. Slaf is a beast. Definitely looking forward to seeing Reinbacher. Yep, I can't wait. Was I rude to Blaine? I just get revved up. I mean, you can call it rude. Whatever. If you don't like that I get passionate, you really don't have to watch it, the podcast. Go somewhere else. First half Slaf is trending upward. Oh, I know. Fantastic. Demidov looks like he's about to explode for points. Maybe. Needs to start shooting and stop looking. I know. There was a 1 point tonight there. Man, eh? If he'd just got the puck over and he didn't, he's looking to make the pass too often. It's too bad that Kapanen's got has a better shoot first mentality when he gets the puck in the right spot. And I wish Demi did, because he's got a great shot. He doesn't use it enough. Kapanen lucked out with Demidov and Slaf. And you know what, Peter? Vice versa. Demidov's lucky to have a center, a young center, with, again, that's leading all rookies in goals and kills penalties regularly. That's a godsend for Demi. It's exactly what he needs. Cappy wins Rookie of the Year. Grant's going to go nuts. Oh, that's Schaefer's all day. F the advanced stats. Yeah, I know, Jake. I wish you'd have got him when when it was low. That's right. I agree 100%. Who's picking on Blaine? Someone said, quit picking on Blaine. Yeah, Blaine's a good guy. You disagree with him every now and then. Obviously, Marty trusts Cappy. Who cares what some of the media think about Cappy? There you go. Doc right wing on first line has worked in the past. Yeah, but need a third line center. Is it going to be Beck? I don't know. I mean, one good game, right? Do they trade for one? Evans isn't a third line center. He's not producing enough. Veleno's not a third line center. Doc in that third slot would be good. And if you got Stamkos, then you don't have to put Doc in that spot. But I don't know. I think they should get a top two center, or sorry, they should get a top two winger, and Doc ideally in that third slot. When Kirby Doc is on his game and he's your third line center, that's a nice luxury to have. Top three pick, third line center. Calling up Fowler is a huge wake-up call for Monte. Don't be surprised if Monte starts next game as maybe the last chance he will get to stay in Montreal. Yeah, maybe Vidak. I don't think it's his last chance, though. They're still hoping that he's one of the two goalies at this point. Yeah, Dobie's less stable for sure. Huh? I was mad when went with Strub over Jackeye, but it was the right decision. Well, they had a little more jump tonight, you know. They really did. Kapanen first season, he's driving the second line, not too shabby. I know. Start of a new era. Hey. Habs players tried small passes before exiting their zone and got intercepted a few times. Texe, particularly with a blind behind pass, I had a heart attack on that one. Yeah, I know. He wasn't perfect. That was a big goal, though. It was nice to see him get one. Only 4 of 15 games has Monty had a save percentage above 900. Dovish had a save percentage 908 out of 17. Last season, Monty had 32 quality starts of 62. This season, 26%. So 53% quality starts. And Doby's had what? 47%, something like that. So close to the percentage of what Monty had last year. I mean, I'd like it to be Dovish, but I have a feeling that they still want to get, they still consider Monty to be one of the two goalies. And they'll give him some more opportunities. I saw a stat where he was like third worst in low percentage, even strength saves this year, which isn't very good. One bad thing to band together for rookie's first game. Does this crew have it in them to keep it up? This year will show the team's culture. Ended up being 38 shots against after NHL adjusted stats. Wow. Yeah. Colorado Realtor, hit the like button, boys and girls. We get a few girls in here too. Let's clone Slaf. He's already mutant anyways. Yeah, I know. I want him on the first line and the second line. Maybe they should just double shift him, eh? Well, folks, I think I'm going to wrap this up here. It's almost midnight. I think I got caught up. Love the extra you put into the background. The coach believed in Fowler. Top notch. Thanks. Hey, thank you very much, Don. You're, I like to, I appreciate these kind comments. Cappy could be our second line center in the making. Be nice to pick up a proper winger to play with Nick and Cole. Keep Cappy, Slaf, and Demi together. That would be cool. I hope he does try to get a top 6 winger. It would be. I think it's needed. Then you put down Bolduc, play him with, Doc and whoever, and move everybody down a spot, right? Oh, that's a good point. Galley looked better playing under 10 minutes. He's had a couple of games recently where it's in and around 10. So That's not bad. All right, folks, I'm running out of steam here. Or the nut hit a blind squirrel. Yeah. Number 30 will always be Nyland for me. Knuckles. I was mad MSL went with, yeah, it was the right decision. Okay, I think I got caught up here pretty much. Texier, I wouldn't mind seeing him. Doc fan as well. Love the trade. Love his potential still. I know it's frustrating that he's had all those injuries, but man, he can still be. Newhook is a 3C. Yeah, maybe. But he's out till March. Can't wait till March to get this straightened out. Need things straightened out now. And eventually, you know, you got. I prefer Doc as a third line center to Newhook. I think Newhook's better on the wing. Bolduc, Newhook, Doc, third line. Stamkos on the top line. The kid line, second line, and then Galley, Evans, and Anderson with Beck, you know, subbing in or something like that. That's a pretty solid top 12. And line A's, I don't know, whatever you do with line A, that is the question, right? Yeah, Sheldon just said it. Newhook, Doc, Bolduc. Yeah, that's a good third line. Really is. Yeah, for sure. Well, okay. Thank you very much, folks. It is 11:47. Time for bed. What's up tomorrow? I don't know. I'll have something up my sleeve. Look for a live HabsCast tomorrow afternoon, probably around 2. I'm going to start doing them at 2, I think. I was doing a noon show, but Tony now is doing like, I don't know, 2.5 hours. Like he's going right into afternoon, you know, past noon. I'd rather not overlap with Tony. So probably be doing something at 2. Thereabouts 2 in the afternoon, start doing them at 2. And Tony will start doing 4-hour shows, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, okay, folks. Thanks a lot, and have a good night. We'll talk to you hopefully tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, Saturday for sure. Take care.